yeah. Please tell me that I can't, that I won't, that I fail, that I'll never make it out, yeah. Please tell me all the bad, never good, fill my head full of every single doubt, yeah. Please say any negative thoughts, I pop off when I hear people say I cannot. I get off to the thought of proving everyone wrong, I won't stop to the top, so you better back off and get lost. I'ma stay loud, stay proud, never running out, never heading south. I'll be spreading out, call it word of mouth, can't put me down, I'll be getting loud. You can have me douse, not what I'm about, have your fucking cloud. It be raining now, I keep making sound, go another round, bitch I'm legend bound, can't stop me now. You don't wanna fuck with me, a slow burn like a disease. Just tell me that I can and show you things that you couldn't believe. Just tell me that I can. 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 It's showtime.
Welcome to Friday Night Lights. I'm your host, Mikey, and as always, riding shotgun. My boy Tommy, what's going on, brother?
What is going on, Mr. Mikey? Happy Friday to you, my brother. And we are like a few weeks from Christmas, man. This year went flying by.
Not only that, but we're a few weeks away from the playoffs.
Dude.
And just think about where we stood 3 weeks ago.
I know.
You know, we were left for dead. If we can get through this weekend and come out on the other side with a W,
right?
The Bills have a shot at not only making the playoffs, but taking the division.
Wild, man. I know.
Last week helped out big time.
Yeah. Big, man, I did not think the Dolphins were going to lose that game, bro. Matter of fact, I text you because you went to go. I think we did a show. Yeah, we did a show because it was a Monday night. You left for food or something.
I went to the store.
You went to the store, and I text you. I'm like, it's over, bro. Like, fucking Titans can't do nothing right. 5 minutes ago, or it was like 3 minutes or something like that. I'm like, it's over. They lost momentum, 2 touchdowns. And all of a sudden, I text you back with what? A minute and a half later?
You're like,
hold on. Hold on, buddy. So
they got a shot. You're telling me there's a chance.
Telling me
there's a chance.
My God.
The epic meltdown. And then some of the Dolphins content creators had epic meltdowns also.
Oh, my God.
Which was fun to watch because I feel like I was that content creator that was having meltdowns earlier this season.
I've never lost my shit like that. Like, no. I mean, I've not... I maybe behind closed doors, and even not that bad. I don't know if I've ever went to that extreme, but the Chiefs game, I think I know I lost my voice because I remember going live. I could barely talk because I was so screaming so loud because it was craziness that game. And then, of course, it just drained me, But I don't know if I had an epic meltdown. Like, that's wild.
I'm with you, Roy. I'm not going to get too excited, but not a lot has to happen. With Miami's loss, they are now only 1 up on us. So even if we were to lose this week, we would need Miami to lose two of the next 3, which they have both the Cowboys and the Ravens. And then it would all come down to week 18. If we beat them, we get division. If not, they get division. If we win this week, we put a lot of pressure on them because that means they can only lose 1 more.
Right, exactly. Which probably is going to happen. It's either going to be that Baltimore or that Dallas game. If I had to guess, because they haven't fared well.
Both.
Yeah, so I'm saying they haven't fared well against above 500 teams, and now they're not even faring well against teams that are below 500 or
their injuries are starting to stack up. Like we went through our injury early, and then we were able to find replacements and work around them.
That is true.
Other teams are starting to run into those injury problems now, and they have to try to find a way to work around it. Like, it'll be interesting to see if Tyreek Hill can go this week with his ankle.
Yeah.
It was bad.
Yeah. I'm surprised they had him back out there.
Me too. Let's hit around the league. Obviously, the big news of today was the Chargers finally canned Staley, but they also canned the GM. Telesco.
Yeah. It was too late, in my opinion. Like that should have happened a while ago. That head coach was a total joke. letting the Raiders, by the way, it wasn't like this was a 49ers team they were playing against. I mean, I get they were depleted. They're down to their back.
Dolphins team.
Yeah, exactly. Good off like a heavy, like a unbelievable offense or whatever. They're going against a Raiders team that, come on, let's be real. They're on their rookie quarterback as well. That was crazy, Mikey. 63 points. And by the way, they could have laid on more than that. They were just running the ball bullshitting around at the end for a whole quarter. That could have been easily probably an 80-point game if they would have just tried more. But you don't want to do that. You don't want to make your opponent look that bad. But they were just throwing them the fumbles, interceptions to the house. It was like wild.
That would be wild, Scott. If the Dolphins lost their next 3 and then we won this week and we win our next 2, going to week 18 where it didn't matter, we could just rest our players.
That would be unreal.
Wild.
Dolphin fans will lose their shit, bro.
Oh my God, would they?
Yeah, I'm serious.
They're gonna. It's gonna be an epic meltdown.
Yeah, absolutely, an epic meltdown.
Yeah. Oh God. So yeah, I'm so stoked to see Unleash Primetime Josh for the next 8 games, dude. Josh, yes. Mm-hmm. And Joe Brady has unleashed him.
Yeah,
truly has bought. We've seen the the MVP Josh, lately. Like, he didn't have the best game last week, but he also didn't have a lot of help. And we played a top 5 defense. He gets another top 5 defense this week.
Right.
And Josh Allen being Josh Allen is the big thing. I'll be interested to see what Dallas is. Like at home, they're one of the elite teams. Mm-hmm. On the road, they're a 500 team. So I'll be interested to see what Dallas team shows up in Buffalo.
How's the weather looking? Any what's
rain.
The early weather report?
Rain.
Oh, lovely.
Lots of rain.
Lots of rain. No. Well, we'll see how it goes. Let's hope for the best. Let's hope our offensive coordinator has a plan for that, because prior offensive coordinators, including Dable, did not fare well in games where it was miserable weather. It just did not fare well. So hopefully Joe Brady has a plan for that weather in Buffalo.
Yeah, Drake Staley was supposed to be a defensive guy. He has yet to be a defensive guy since he got there. How the amount of talent he was given and the way that defense performs is just sad.
Mm-hmm.
And really that owner should have canned him last year. Or really should never even had Staley. They should have Brian Daboll if he just would have waited.
Right. Can
you imagine Daboll with that offense? Whew.
Absolutely.
That'd be crazy. What's going on, Nickel City Mafia?
What up, Mike? By the way, guys, we'll be joining them on the 22nd at 8 o'clock. If you guys don't know, it's already scheduled. So if you go to Nickel City Mafia, that Friday on the 22nd, so next week, Friday, me and Mikey will be going on at 7 p.m. on our channel here to preview the Chargers game. And then we're going to jump over to Nickel City Mafia at 8, and they're going to be doing a lot of cool things over there. So, you don't want to miss that. And obviously, we'll tell you guys Friday next week too when we talk to you guys doing that preview stuff. Just a heads up.
No weather stopping. Listen, Josh put on one of his best performances in the rain in Philly. We saw a vintage Josh. Like Josh, the rain doesn't bother him.
No, he played great. It's just like I said, it's up to the coordinator how he wants to dial it up. What he does there.
Triggs, that's 100% right. We're getting a dome team coming to Buffalo with bad weather.
Yeah, no, it works out in our favor. Absolutely.
Yep. Spears, I hope you feel better.
You know what? It takes me back. You remember the game, Mikey, versus the Dolphins? I believe it was the regular season game, the second game, and it was close. I think the Dolphins actually took the lead at one point, and then the snow started coming down. Remember, it was not beautiful day, but it was nice. And all of a sudden, the snow started coming down. And boy, did things turn around. Right? And Buffalo wound up getting the win. So, hey, sometimes the weather works in our favor, even though I still think we're not built to play outdoors just quite yet, but maybe we're getting there. With this new offensive line, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
right. We're getting close. Exactly.
Yeah.
I think that's
Roy
fair
comes
to
and
say.
says maybe Dable gets fired at the end of the year and ends up in LA after all. Well, one, his best friend, the GM who went to high school with Dable, got canned too. So I doubt that. Two, I doubt Dable gets fired. He's done wonders with Tommy Italian man.
DeVito, get it right.
DeVito.
Hey.
Tommy DeVito, the Italian man. He's doing wonders with them.
No doubt. Now, that's going to be interesting, though, Mikey, now, what they do in the offseason. Now, if DeVito continues to play well throughout the last – huh?
You draft a quarterback.
No, I'm just saying when it comes to Daniel Jones, not so much about DeVito. Talking about what they do with Daniel Jones.
They can't do anything. They
if
still
DeVito plays
for
better
next
than
year.
Daniel. Yeah, I'm just saying if DeVito plays better than Daniel Jones, you got a problem there. And I mean, it sucks because they've just paid him.
I think he has played better than Daniel Jones.
Yeah,
like, Daniel Jones isn't good. Like he got paid based off of being able to run the ball last year.
Did you see DeVito's agent though?
Yes. It's like out of a freaking movie, man.
I mean, he is. Let me tell you, that agent is selling it so hard, man. You know that he's Italian. Mafia, baby. Like, I love it. Like, hey, what he's trying to do. He's trying to get his guy some money. Yeah. Smart. It's marketing. It's fucking beautiful. Because now they're going to market the shit out of this. Mm-hmm. Right? Like the Tebow thing. I'm telling you, that's going to take over New York. They're going to make shirts and shit.
Especially if he keeps winning. Especially if they keep winning.
That's what I'm saying. Right. Yeah, winning. Yeah, exactly. You got to do something right. But I'm just saying, like, that's definitely marketing strategy. Very smart by the agent.
Beth, it's in Miami. Which is great for us. We wanted them in Miami at the end of the year because it's no longer cold. We're going to have a sunshine game. And it's not early in the year where it's like 150 on our sidelines.
Right.
It worked out good. The second home. Yes. I can't wait. I can't wait for this week's game. I don't want to wish my weekend away, but I'm just so juiced for this Bills team to play this Cowboys team.
Dude, I know, man. I told you, these two games, the one we just passed, the Chiefs and the Cowboys, was the two games that really, for me, mattered obviously the most. Like you win these two, I think that the momentum, the confidence for the remaining three is huge for that team. And we're down to one more. We're down to one more at home. It's the Cowboys. Everyone's talking about, that they're now a top three. I heard top three team, top five, top three team. You go ahead and beat the Cowboys at home. Boy, the NFL is going to really start getting worried about these Buffalo Bills moving forward. I'm going to tell you that now.
It's funny because I don't know if you listen to, because I don't listen to a ton of of the big sports media, but they're all changing the tune on the Bills real quick, starting to pump them up.
I know,
like, oh crap, our narrative. Our narrative.
Somebody had this. Cowherd actually. So Cowherd. Because out of all of them, I'm okay with him. I'm okay with him. Like he's, obviously he's still a national media guy, so he's going to be a little out there. That's the way it is. But he keeps it close to being real as you can get for those guys. And he had us when he did his top 10, whatever. He had us ahead of Miami. I mean, like so. People are he's a realist, Right now we're playing better ball, I believe. It's just we haven't won those close games. It sucks. Yeah. We win those close games that we're in first right now. You know what I mean? Like no doubt about it.
We're fighting for the 1 seed.
We're fighting for the 1 seed. Absolutely.
If we don't have the 12 men on the field, right, and the kick either doesn't go through or the fumble stands,
right,
or Bass makes one of his two that he missed. Just those two, throwing the Patriots. Don't let Mac Jones go down and score a touchdown on you. Right. You're talking about us being 10-3.
Right. Yeah. And people are talking about what a dynamic team this is, right?
Yeah.
But, sometimes, Mikey, and we talked about this last week, things happen for a reason. That Denver loss, I really, truly believe if we win that game, Ken Dorsey probably is still our offensive coordinator. And that would not have been good because I don't think we win against a better team. Like, I think we get blown out by the Eagles. I don't think, I think we get blown out by the Chiefs. So it was actually blessing in disguise that we lost that game. You know what I mean? That occurred because it needed to happen. And here we are today talking about you know what I mean?
You see all the things that we were asking for, the motions, the misdirections, the plan with Josh. Like Joe Brady brings a different atmosphere to that offense, which is awesome. Scott Blakely said, "Did you hear the Greenberg take on Josh Allen?" Yeah, he was the first one to say, "You know what? Let's stop talking about his interceptions and start talking about his touchdowns."
Right.
It was easy to bash Josh for his interceptions when we weren't in the playoffs and we weren't we were left for dead. That's easy to make that narrative. None of them watch the Bills play. Like they just box score watch.
Right.
So it's one of those things. Can you play it for us all? I don't have the access to do that. Do you, Tommy? Can you find that clip of Greenberg talking about Josh Allen?
I can look on Twitter real quick while you're looking at some of the comments.
Yeah. So there was Jason asks any word on the injury. So I think that's the perfect time to bring up our injury.
Yeah, go ahead. Yeah. Go ahead and do that, and then I'll look for that. So you said Greenberg? Because I missed that one. So Greenberg on Allen?
Greenberg on Allen.
Gotcha.
He stood up there and just gushed about Josh Allen for like 4 minutes. It was awesome. Let's talk about the Cowboys first. Out Jonathan Hankins. That is a big loss for the Cowboys. That's their run stuffer. Jonathan Hankins.
It's about 2 minutes long.
Yeah, okay.
So we'll be able to play a little bit. Yeah, we'll pause it intermittently
and then talk about it. So
so I don't get
a strike. Yep. Yeah. Or copyright. Jonathan Hankins, Tommy, him being out's huge for the Cowboys. Huge for the Cowboys. What are you doing?
No, I'm gonna take it away. I just was adding it to the screen. Sorry.
Okay. Yeah. I'm like, wait a second. I wasn't done.
Yeah. No, I know. I just was.
Questionable. Their backup running back, Rico Dowdy. Brandon Cooks and Stephen Gilmore both have the flu. They're not sure if they're going to be able to go. I guess it's really bad flu. Their backup defensive end is questionable. Malik Hooker with an ankle, Tolbert with illness as well, and then a backup offensive lineman. So I'm guessing Cooks, Gilmore, and Tolbert all find a way to play. They may not be 100%, but I bet you they find a way to play. And true game time decisions is probably Dodley, the backup D end, Hooker. They lose Hooker. That's a big loss too.
Yeah, that is true.
He doesn't play in
the second. Yeah, we'll see there might be game time decisions, but they don't have. I mean, he's probably their biggest one. Gilmore, I would say too, but they're coming in pretty healthy.
Yeah,
for the most part,
Yep. And then Micah Parsons obviously will play.
Yeah.
Let's talk about the Bills. The Bills, Hyde and Epinesa out. We kind of knew that when they put a week-to-week designation on them.
Yep. Not good, by the way, with Hyde. We'll get into that later, but go ahead.
Questionable is Shorter and Elam because they're both on the IR still. They haven't even been activated yet. It's funny they have Elam here as well, but he's questionable. Allen, Tron Johnson, Kincaid, Floyd, and Knox all good to go.
Okay.
So we're actually pretty healthy. I think losing Micah Hyde's bigger than losing AJ Epinesa because we have depth on our and
the fact that Von Miller looked like he was starting to come around last weekend and also had his knee brace off is a very positive sign. By the way, we do have a super chat. You want to get to that? Let's get to that.
Just hit it real quick.
I got it. Cali Blitz, my buddy Jack, man. How you doing, brother? I appreciate that once again. We got this game. We just run that ball up the middle, wear the D down, short yard passes, get them first downs. Let's go Buffalo. You know what? I'll cuss. Let's motherfucking go Buffalo. I mean, why not? I do F-bombs all the time around here. So, yeah, dude. Calibus, absolutely. I am very curious if they bring up Fournette. I haven't heard anything. I don't think they are because I just have not heard a damn peep out of that. What's going on with that?
I wish they would. I wish they would.
do, too. This would be the game, by the way. Rainy. You want to run a little bit more, cook a little bit light. That defensive line is really good for Cowboys. You want to kind of wear them down. And I don't even care if you keep Murray active too. Have the two bruisers just kind of smash that line up and get Cook going. But I don't know. I don't know if I see that happening. But thank you so much for the super chat. By the way, real quick before we move on, and I'm going to show you guys later, we are starting to sell merch for the first time on this channel. The description is in the link. I'll show you guys later to the designs if you haven't already. We'll do that later towards the end of the podcast. But I do got this this up here for you guys. So here we go.
Here's the deal. I know that you know that Josh Allen has turned it over in 8 straight games and that he has the most turnovers in the NFL over the last 4 years. I know you know that because you hear it all the time. It generally comes right after someone on television says, well, Josh Allen is a great player, but let's try something different here. Let's talk about just how great he actually is. Allen has 17 more touchdowns than he does turnovers this year. So for all the talk about those, do you know how many players have a better margin than that? 1, Dak Prescott. In fact, Allen has 94 more touchdowns than turnovers the last 4 seasons. Only Patrick Mahomes has a better margin in the entire league. Over those 4 seasons, while everyone has been busy talking about Allen's turnovers, do you know how many teams have scored more points than the Bills have? None. And only the Chiefs have had a better record. Over those 4 seasons, Allen himself, personally, has 163 touchdowns, and his team has punted 174 times. He is a one-man offensive machine. And with 7 more scores this year, which knowing him, he'll get in like 2 weeks, he will become the first quarterback ever with 4 consecutive 40-touchdown seasons. Peyton, Patrick, Brady, Breeze, Brett, none of them did that. Allen is about to. So now let's consider where the Bills are right this minute. If their kicker makes one lousy field goal in Philadelphia, and if they don't have 12 men on special teams against Denver, they would be 8-4. Josh Allen would be the leading candidate for MVP. So in conclusion, let me say this. The year that Aaron Judge hit 62 home runs, I never once heard anyone mention that he also struck out 175 times. Why? Because he was so good, it more than made up for the imperfection. Right. Josh Allen is that good too. And there is no need to put a but at the end of that sentence.
Abso-freaking-lutely.
That's freaking right.
I couldn't agree more, man. And that's why I keep telling people sometimes when, and by the way, like, man, I want to say something real quick. I don't mean to upset anybody when we talk about comments that you guys leave on some of the videos or the live. I'm not trying to like out you or you know, talk directly to you, but if you're going to leave a comment, I'm going to respond and we're going to talk about it. You know what I mean? Like, so, I kind of upset somebody, Mikey, I forget his name, but he watches the podcast. And, I mentioned last week that, you know, sometimes the stats don't always tell the whole story, right? You know, sometimes. And he messaged me saying, he was upset that basically I feel like he feels like I'm talking directly to him. And guys, that's not the case. I'm just in general, I get a lot of messages and I'm going to respond, or me and Mikey are going to talk about it because you guys clearly want to talk about it. If you're commenting about a subject, we're not going to just not say anything. So, to Greenberg's point, yeah, there's turnovers, but do you also see the greatness, what he does too? And a lot of people miss that, right? And also record, right? Sometimes can, team record could sometimes ruin that. So I agree totally what Greenberg said there, Mikey.
Yeah, and Beth said that wasn't even the one that she was talking about. But she liked that one. So I don't know which one she's talking about.
Sorry.
I'm not even sure which one she's talking about. That's the one I thought she was talking about.
Okay.
I don't know what the other one is. So Beth, you gotta tell us which one it is because I have no idea. Maybe I didn't see it.
Yeah.
Good for Greeny. Yeah, and he's a Jets fan. That's the thing. Like it's not even like he likes him. He's a true Jets fan.
Mm-hmm.
Should Allen get legit MVP votes in real consideration? If we find a way to win the division, yes. If we don't, no.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, if we I think if we win the division, win out like we were saying, 5 straight games, go in hot, and Allen continues to do what he's doing. 100%. Why not? Why wouldn't you consider that? He has really good numbers.
He has the numbers for it. What he didn't have was the wins.
Right.
And if he can find a way to win the division and get, a home field playoff game, then he absolutely should be in the mix for it, because who's playing better than him?
Right.
Like from a number standpoint, Lamar Jackson's playing on a team, but a team that's really being carried by that defense. Like Lamar Jackson's doing good, but he's not having some phenomenal season.
Right.
Dak is playing fantastic, and he has. If he continues, he's in the conversation.
Yeah. Why not? Yep.
Can you put Brock Purdy in the conversation? He's playing really well, but he's not even the best player on his team.
No, he's not even the best player on his team. No, I don't think you can. I don't think you can.
Not the best player on his offense, let alone the team. I'm not even sure he's the second best player on his offense. I think there's like 4 guys that are better than him on his offense. You have McCaffrey, you have Debo, you have Kittle, and you have Ayuk. All better than him.
Yep. I agree. I agree. Tyreek Hill should be considered as well. I mean, he's having himself.
Saw what that offense looked like without him.
Right. So you have to put him in consideration as well, because he's having a monster year.
Mm-hmm. And thank you, Scott Blakely, for the super chat. We appreciate it. Absolutely.
Thank you.
And Beth, if you find which one you're talking about, we'll happily look at that one as well. But that one was awesome. I really did enjoy that. Where are we at? Most valuable player went out, take the division. Yes, MVP. Yeah. I think he'll be in the conversation. Will he win it? I don't know. I know. Oh God, what is his name? He does the Monday Morning QB. Can't think of his name. Do you know who does the Monday Morning QB? Can't think of his name off the top of my head. He's an older guy.
Roy, maybe a piss off time his comment. Wouldn't the amount of turnovers work against Josh for MVP? Not necessarily. Not necessarily. Because you also got to factor in the other stuff he's doing, right? And if he winds up winning the division on top of what has already happened with this team, right? You got to also factor in, I think, the team play, right? And what's going on offense. We fired our coordinator, and Allen is still finding ways, to win, especially if we go on the streak, and he's looking good doing so. I truly believe that Allen, no matter what, he's going to have his turnovers every season. I don't think we're ever going to have a season where Allen doesn't have a decent amount of turnovers. That's just the way he is. That's the ball he plays. We have to live with that as Bills fans, but you know what? No one's going to care if the dude winds up winning the Super Bowl with his team, like that he threw 13 interceptions, 40. Like, trust me. So you got to also concentrate on the good and the greatness that comes with Josh Allen.
I can't think of his name.
Yeah. I don't think that throws it off. I really don't. Brett Favre also had a ton of turnovers, and did he ever win MVP?
Who, Brett Favre? Yeah, 3 times.
Like a year, 3 times. Okay, so I mean, I have to go back and look at his, stat line, but I'm sure he had a ton of turnovers.
Nick Wright talked about it. He said there's been no NFL MVP who's led the league in turnovers.
Not led the league.
There's never been a MVP that's led the league in turnovers and touchdowns at the same time.
Yeah. Well, hopefully, hey, we'll see. Season's
Peter King.
Not over.
Thank you, Steve. Peter King. Thank you, Steve. Yeah. I could not think of his name, but he said
Peter King. Has been around.
Yeah, he has a vote. He's like, and I'll tell you, if Josh Allen finds a way to get them into, winning
playoffs.
The division, he's like, he'd have my vote.
Yeah, I mean, that's
not just the playoffs. They'd have to win the division for him.
Yeah, you're right. Win the division, which would be wild because we were down quite a bit. 3 games? So
yeah, 3 or 4 at one time.
Right. So, and not looking good. I mean, when you fire your offense coordinator, during the middle of a season, not good.
But we talked about it. It's not about Josh Allen getting MVP this season.
Yeah, no, I don't. I don't think he even
doesn't even matter.
Yeah, I don't think he gives a listen. I don't think he gives a rat's ass if he wins any individual trophy. We want the Super Bowl. You know what I mean? Like, that's the ultimate goal, right? Aaron Rodgers won the MVP. Right? Last two years in a row, didn't win shit. So, that's all dusty. Go ahead, brother.
James comes in with the super chat. We appreciate the super chat, James.
Thank you so much.
Was late to the chat. Maybe you covered it. Any concerns about the way our O was stifled in the second half against KC after the amazing start? No, it's that chess game, and I thought this was the first time that that Joe Brady didn't have a counter,
right.
And some of it was execution. He did because Diggs dropped 3 balls.
Yeah, he was off. He was off.
He was, he had a bad day. Josh missed a wide open Gabe Davis. He never got to him. So some of it they was an execution issue. Some of it was I don't think we gave Josh the answers to the test right away in the second half. And I truly believe that, Spagnuolo, who's one of the best defensive minds in football, found a way to, put us on our heels. The best part about all that, though, is our defense matched them.
Absolutely. Yeah. Our defense kept them in the game, gave them enough time to get the lead back, really, right? Go up 20, they had some key stops, fumbles. Like, that game could have listen, if they didn't fumble there, we didn't get a stop on that fumble, who knows? Like, there were some key moments in that game by the defense that led to this victory against the Chiefs past week. But I will say the offensive line and Joe Brady, pass protection has to get better moving forward. That was miserable. I thought McGovern just was not right. He was getting bullied, and I think that Joe Brady or Cromer needed to figure that out as the game went on. Maybe sub him with Edwards, do something, get him help. Which they never brung help, and that was a concern, Mikey. I think they'll look at that film. I think Joe Brady will understand if that happens again that to bring in some help, whether that be a tight end or a running back, whatever you got to do to give Allen more time. Because if you can't go through your reads, it's going to be a long game, and that's really what happened in that Chiefs game ultimately. Because I really believe that Gabe Davis miss. If he wasn't under pressure, he probably would have went through his other read and saw Gabe Davis. Because I've seen Allen buy time and find a receiver that probably wasn't his first read, probably was his 4th read. Who knows? You know what I mean? Like, give him time, he'll make magic, right? You don't give him time, he's going to have to pull something out of his hat. Right? And sometimes it's not good. Sometimes it's a turnover, right? So because he's trying to do something out of nothing. So you gotta give him more time. And I think Joe Brady is going to understand that watching that film, especially against these Cowboys coming up, because they're going to bring pressure. And by the way, if you can't stop it, they will continue to bring it. And that's what the Chiefs did. And let's hope that we have an answer, because if we have an answer for that, then they won't pressure. You know what I mean? They'll go back to playing zone, whatever. Yeah. So we'll see.
Yep.
Brett Favre. God, 29.
Yep.
Good Lord.
And in 2005, but in 1995 when he won the MVP, he had 13 picks. He had 400 yards, 38 touchdowns. So Josh is on pace with this.
Yeah, 16 picks, and what year was that?
That's 97.
97. I mean, look at his interceptions. I mean, they're pretty much Josh like 13, 6, not 29 though. Let's hope Josh never, ever, ever
gets to that number.
I would not be able to defend Josh Allen at 29 interceptions. I don't think me and Mike. I don't even think Mikey could. Like that would be really tough.
Right?
That's a ton, bro. Holy shit!
That is so many interceptions.
That's a lot. Like, how many did Winston have that one year that he threw for like 5,000 yards?
He was 30 and 30. 30 and 30.
God.
30 touchdowns, 30 picks.
That's outrageous. And he had like 5,000 yards, right? Something wild, right? Passing wise. Like, that would have been a remarkable, by the way, that would have been a remarkable year for Winston if he didn't have 30 interceptions.
Look at this. Interceptions.
Like, my God, that's a lot.
This is Brett Favre's interceptions in 93, 24.
Oh,
98, 23, 99, 23, 2021.
My
29
God.
and 05, 22 and 08.
19 is last year. He was just the guy. That dude is just chucking it up, man.
Yep.
Go get it.
It's why they say that Josh Allen's is this generation.
Right. Yeah. My God. Holy crap.
Crazy,
I don't ever want him to get to the 20. Just don't get to the 20 range, please.
Tell me, bring up a picture of Fabio. Tell me that's not Trevor Lawrence's dad. Yeah, I do believe we need to run the ball. I think, and here's the thing: where you need to run it at Micah Parsons. He's a fantastic game wrecker, but you need to run it at him. He's not a good run defender at all.
Absolutely.
Like I said, Allen's closer to Big Ben, John Elway, to Favre to me. Yeah, and Triggs, I think he's closer to he's built more like Big Ben and John Elway.
Yeah, I agree with that.
I think his game's more Big Ben and John Elway. I think Patrick Mahomes' game's is more Brett Favre than Josh. They like to say it because Josh is that gunslinger like Brett Favre was. Josh's mentality is Brett Favre. His play style is Big Ben, John Elway.
Yeah, I think he has like a little sprinkled in a little bit of everyone. Like Brett Favre was a tough son of a bitch, right? Like, and he was gonna try to make something out of nothing all the time, and it backfired a lot, but it also led him to the Super Bowl, right? So, and the Hall of Fame, by the way. So, I think he has that little bit of sprinkle, that little bit of like fight dog, backyard football type. Brett Favre, never give up. That was Brett Favre. John Elway. Running, mobile, definitely. And then, of course, Big Ben with the size. So, yeah, I think you could say it's fair. You sprinkle all. He's a bit of everyone there. Right? Goodbye.
I have to step away for real quick. You run with it?
Yeah. Go ahead. Mikey's stepping away, guys. All right, so this is my time. I guess I'll go ahead and pop this up real quick. I want to show you guys something real quick. So, guys, we finally brung out some merchandise. And it's up to you guys. You obviously don't have to purchase anything, but somebody mentioned it like, hey, you're going to get any merchandise anytime soon. And I'm like, you know what? I'll get on top of that. And I just want to show you some of the stuff that I went ahead and designed. And it's really up to you. I don't know if you guys can see that. Let me see if I can zoom that in better for you guys. Okay. All right. So here we go. All right, so I came up with a few, 3 actually, and I have them in shirts and hoodies, all black. So this one here is Josh Allen hurdling over our logo, which I think is badass. And then also one of my favorites is the Josh Allen. Okay, right? Okay. So that one's badass. I like that. And obviously, we had to throw the Ric Flair in there. Woo! Because guys, that's what our very first intro was to this channel, and it remains to this day. So I know not everyone's a fan of wrestling or Ric Flair, but if you've watched this channel since the beginning, you know that our intro has always been the Ric Flair. That will never change. So I had to throw that on a shirt. I thought it was really cool. So yeah, you guys, you don't have to buy it. But it's up to you. But they're pretty cool, man. And they're coming from Bonfire. So the quality's pretty good as well. So once again, don't have to do it. But if you want to do it, go to Bonfire Mafia Sports Report. It's there. The link is in the description. All right. So back to everything. So I hope you guys like the shirts, and let me know if you get one, man. I know Jason's going to get one and share it on Twitter. So I appreciate that, Jason, when you go ahead and do that. So, guys, let's get into hold on real quick. I thought I had something else pulled up. By the way, guys, real quick, if you didn't catch the video I made this week on Tuesday regarding Matt Araiza, I definitely recommend you guys to give it a watch. I put a good amount of time into that video. I stand by that video. I got to say the comments, and the things that people wrote back, basically the comments, were all positive for the most part. I appreciate everyone, for understanding why I made that video. And if you guys want to talk about it, we can. If you want to move away from the conversation, we can too. But, what I said in that video, I stand by. I think a lot of people, fans, national media, Bills content creators, really did this guy dirty, and never apologized, never did another video on the situation, never came back and said, hey, we were wrong. We shouldn't have said this about this person. We jumped to conclusions, too quickly. And you know what? I wanted to make a video saying that wasn't right and apologize for those individuals that I won't name. But I hope this is a lesson learned for everyone, that you can't jump to conclusions every time you hear something that sounds terrible, awful, and automatically assume because it sounds so bad that person's guilty no matter what. Cut them, get rid of them. It's not right. And I will say this too, though. I did agree, and I still agree, that when the Buffalo Bills let him go because of the allegations that were brought, to him, they were so strong, guys, that this isn't, and I'm not saying that domestic is, is something that's bad or anything like that, or anything, or DUI, but those allegations that were brought onto Matt Araiza were serious allegations that would have led to serious prison time. Not only serious prison time, but he would have never been able to have a job. More than likely, his name would have been forever in the system. And I felt like the Bills did him right by letting him go, because Matt Araiza needed to concentrate on defending his name, defending his life. And ultimately, that's what happened. He needed to concentrate on the big picture, and that was getting rid of that, allegations that were brought to him. So I didn't mind, and I didn't hate what the Buffalo Bills did. I think that was the right decision. But I will say this: I do think the Buffalo Bills should call back Matt Araiza in the offseason. Mm-hmm. I think they do owe it to him. I'll be honest with you guys. They drafted him, and I think they do owe him that much. I think they should bring him back to camp to compete for the punting job again, because ultimately he did nothing wrong. And he should have never lost his job, but I understand why they let him go, because he needed to handle his business and he was fighting for his life. But I will say this. He did say that Bills, people from the organization, have been talking through him throughout this process, and Bills players. So that's really a good, solid thing to know, because that means somebody, either it be Brandon Beane, Sean McDermott, one of the coaching staff, and
somebody
players
in the front office,
believed, cared enough, because they could have said, fuck this guy, who cares, we're done.
He's not part of us.
He's not part of it. So the fact that they reached out to him says a lot about this organization. So a lot of people, were like, oh, fuck the Bills, they shouldn't have done that. I think they, trust me when I tell you, they did the right thing, and they still continue to do the right thing by talking to him, and hopefully they bring him back, like I said, the offseason. And that's it. So if you haven't watched it, watch it. But that's my feeling.
It was a great video. It was a great video, Tommy. I did.
Oh, thank you. Oh, you did? Okay.
It's a tough subject.
It's
a very
absolutely.
tough subject. Absolutely. But I thought you did really well in the way they were the way you outlined it. So
thank you.
Sorry about that. My dogs were going nuts, and I had to.
No, it's fine. I showed them the merchandise.
Nice.
Our cool shirts. Which one's your favorite, Mike? Real quick, which one? I just want to know your personal opinion.
Favorite?
Do you like the hurdle over our logo?
I like the hurdle.
Yeah. So, because I was thinking. I
love the okay. I hate the video. Like the shirt, hate the video.
Okay. But your favorite one's the Mafia Sports Report logo, the hurdle?
The hurdle, yeah, of course.
Okay.
Josh is my favorite hurdle in anything. Josh's hurdle.
Oh, look, Jason likes the okay. All right.
So I'm going to get one that says Team Mikey.
Oh, by the way, I am making those. I'm going to make a Friday Night Lights shirt. I'm just going to, you know me, I like to think about, and by the way, Jason's been a big help, Jason N. But I am going to make a Friday Night Lights shirt that says Team Tommy, Team Mikey. I got to come up with a design for it, but that's coming out. I'll have that.
Have a, yeah, I like it.
Yeah, I'll figure it out. Yeah. I'll get with you on that one too. Since you're,
we all heard the flush, Mikey. No, nope, it wasn't that.
Taco Bell.
Mikey did not hit Taco Bell today. We're good. Red team Mikey, blue team Tommy.
yeah. Why not?
Everyone knows they want to take the red pill.
Yeah. Oh my god.
I didn't like Mikey at first. We had Dawkins disputes, but now we're coasting. Right on, Patrick.
Okay. All right.
I'm not everybody's cup of tea. It's okay.
Hey, but now you become that cup of tea. Now he's like, hold on, wait a minute. Maybe that tea's not so bad after all.
And here's the thing: we can have friendly debates and not see eye to eye. That's okay. Mine and Tommy, really, this year's probably the most we've ever seen eye to eye on things. And I don't like
crazy.
it.
Sickening.
Like it. It's just
sickening,
right? We need to be on different sides. That's what makes this show fun.
Disgusting,
right? Well, we were both get rid of McDermott guys.
Yeah, that. And by the way, we both will eat crow if we won't go on and win a Super Bowl.
Yeah,
100%.
I'll happily eat crow.
No problem doing so.
I would be my pleasure to eat the crow.
Absolutely.
Like, I would never be more excited to eat crow in my life than if McDermott.
Dude, I will make a fucking video saying how much I fucking love Sean McDermott. He's the fucking awesomest guy in the world.
Wrong, and he was able to give us over the hump. Because
dude,
I still to this day don't think he can. Because even in that game last week, they were trying to find a way to give it away.
Absolutely. Yeah. The clock management, by the way. My God, Sean McDermott. Can you fucking figure it out?
It's not even McDermott. It's McDermott.
No, I know, but just Brady. But he's in charge. Yeah, but ultimately he knows what's going on. So
Scott,
come on, fix that.
Crow coming, boys. Side of hot peppers.
Hey, yeah. I mean, it is what it is.
I'll eat the crow all day long.
All day.
Yeah, it's weird when you two aren't debating, right?
I know.
It's what made me and Tommy's friendship kick off, is we sat on different sides and we were able to agree to disagree. We've
gotten some heated ones too.
We have. That happens.
Really have, yeah.
And as family does when you are, it's a topic that we're passionate about, is why we get so different.
Absolutely. Yeah.
I will tell you, Tommy, I did dive into the wide receiver room this week for the draft. Leggett was on my list, and he was one of the first. We can get into this more. I like Leggett. He's a fifth-year senior. He's a guy who was a special teams guy, worked his way up, and had a big year. He has the side, the speed, all the comps. My biggest concern is you may have to take him in the first round. And he may, if he doesn't continue that growth, that linear growth that he has, you may be taking a gunner in the first round. Because he's going to be an elite gunner in the NFL.
Yeah.
Based off of everything I saw.
I think we just need to wait till the season ends before we start really dialing it. Because once again, I don't know what we're going to need. By the way, let's touch base on this real quick, since we didn't really touch base on it earlier. Micah Hyde.
Hold on, before you get into that.
Yeah, go ahead.
Go ahead and hit the okay to the video, video to this comment.
Oh, got you. Dallas going to
MG,
11,
this is for you.
Okay.
That's for you, MG.
So, oh my God, we'll go with this real quick before we get on the Micah Hyde. Scott Blakely coming in. O-line is solid this year. Not great last week, but they will be ready this week. So, here's the deal, and I've said it. You know what's crazy to me, guys? I'll be honest with you, really crazy, that no one has really talked about this O-line being healthy through
14
week 15, right? 14 weeks, going on 15 now. The same fucking offensive line. Nobody's talking about it, and it's unbelievable because I feel it's an amazing story because I couldn't tell you the last season when the Buffalo Bills had a healthy O-line, the same O-line, not a player that's been shitty and like they keep going back and forth because they don't know, Ford maybe, now Ford to the left. This is the first time I could finally say we finally got an offensive line in place. Now, are they perfect? No. Can they get better? Yes. Are they young? Yes, some of them are. Is Mitch Morse probably losing a little bit of what he was once? Yes, of course he is. But I still like I like the outlook because once we replace Mitch Morse, maybe we get younger, maybe we draft a center, or maybe we go with Bates, that's still younger than Morse, right? So I do like the outlook of the offensive line. So I will say this year, they've been good. And that's good because you know why I say that? Because I think the run blocking has massively improved. The pass blocking is, I would say, the same. I'll be honest with you, from seasons past, from last season, but the run blocking is where it's at for me this year. So I would say because of that, Mikey, I'm going to say they've been good, borderline good, and that's great for us. So what do you think?
I do. We have seen Edwards and we have seen Vandermark in spot duty, but most of the, Edwards comes in as the sixth O lineman most of the time. I mean, he has filled in when someone's got banged up in game, but we've started with the same five all year. Vandermark played when we blew people out earlier in the year and Josh was sitting. But for the most part, this five has started every game and has done a relatively really good job. It's the best O-line that's been in front of Josh in his career. Now, absolutely, they're not the Dallas Cowboys O-line. They're not, the Cleveland Browns O-line. They're not one of the elite O-lines. Right. I'd say they're the middle of the pack. They're, average to above average. Yep. My biggest concern is Connor McGovern. Like he got bullied last week.
Boy, my God. Woo. Like he looks so bad against. Now, mind you, Jones, he's good. He's a beast. He's a monster. So I almost want to give him a pass because it's a monster of a player he's going against, but you still got to play a little better than that. He looked like he was in high school.
I felt like he was kind of set up to fail because we never sent doubles at Jones with him. We just let him go one-on-one.
You should have. That's what I mean. That's what I'm talking about. When we go look at the film, I think this was a lesson learned for Joe Brady. Because he needed help. Clearly, he needed help. And just like we were helping out Spencer Brown earlier in the season, remember when we were doing that? We don't do that as much, but why not help out McGovern there? You know what I mean? Bring in some help. So I think he'll learn from that.
I think we need to be doing that wherever Micah Parsons lines up this week.
Absolutely.
Send and help his way. James asked, has Bates even played a meaningful snap? Yes, he's played 3 meaningful snaps. And those are the 3 snaps that Mitch Morris had to go to the blue tent to go to the bathroom.
right. Woo! But at least we know he's there in case he needs a bathroom break. So, and by the way, he knows that position good. He does it well. So there's nothing. I don't fear when he comes in the game.
Bates was an average starter. He's an elite backup and an average starter in the NFL.
Yeah, I agree with that. I absolutely agree with that.
And if he had to step in for any of those 3, I'm confident that we're not going to see a huge drop off.
No.
Yeah. But really he's the backup center. So if we had to step in at either of the guards, that's usually Edwards stepping in. Because Bates has truly just been the backup center this year.
Right.
And it'll probably be that way next year too, as we pay him $4 million to sit on the bench and watch Mitch Morris play every game. Which is fine. I'm okay with that. Watch Rich Eisen's segment from a few days ago. Rich says it best.
I like him, man, too. That's another national media guy. That's a good guy. Get to Nickel City Mafia comment when you can.
Okay. Let's see. Dak's been sacked 29 times on 450 pass attempts. Josh has been sacked 18 times on 475. The difference, Nickel City, is Josh can create back there and get out of a lot of sacks.
Right.
Josh probably should have been sacked about 40 times this year.
Right.
But he's made people miss and got the ball out to where Dak is good in the pocket. He just doesn't have quite the same elusiveness that Josh has in the backfield.
Absolutely. Let's get back to this Micah Hyde before he gets more comments. So, as you guys know, Sean McDermott came out, talked about the injury report today. I believe it was today, and brought up obviously the two key injuries, the ones that are week to week, which was AJ Epinesa and Micah Hyde. Micah Hyde, guys, not looking good. He's saying more than likely probably be placed on the IR. It's looking like that is what he said. More that means it's probably going to happen. It's a neck thing again, a stinger.
Yeah, I thought, and maybe I missed it, but I thought he said Micah Hyde's more of the two likely to go to IR if they go.
I'm not sure. I read that he's more likely to go to IR.
Well, when I listened to him, they said, is either one of them in danger of the IR, and the comment was, of the two, it would be Micah Hyde would be one of the two that would have to go.
So that's where I'm going. But still, you get where I'm going with this. So it's guys at this point, and me and Mikey wanted Micah Hyde to be back next year because he was actually playing good again. Early. But man, Mikey, it comes to a time where it's like, bro, I really do like Micah Hyde. I love what he brought to this team since he's been here in 2017, him and Poyer. But my God, man, this neck thing is starting to really mess with him. And I'm wondering if he understands that it may not be worth it anymore at this point of his career. Guys, anything with your neck or back, especially with a brutal sport like this, you're really risking it. And Mikey, what do you think? What do you think after this season? You think would you be good with him coming back?
I would like to see him retire. I really would. He is still very young in life.
Yeah,
he has young kids.
Right.
He's made a ton of money. I would not like to see him. Me personally, I would not like to see him. Risk it. However, if he does decide to play, I don't think he plays anywhere but Buffalo. I really don't. I think
I agree with that.
Back on a 1-year deal. Let him and Poyer ride out on the sunset together next year.
I agree with that.
Although I would love to see him just say, okay, you know what, it's good. But really comes down to his health. Is his neck healthy enough? He'll go see the doctors this offseason and see if it's just random stingers and it just happened and his neck and they feel confident. That's a decision he has to make.
Absolutely. Yeah, when I'm watching that game back and he had the first stinger and then he came back, the second one,
he looked like he was in a ton of pain.
I thought they were going to bring the stretcher. I mean, he was just he was not he was hurting, right? For an NFL player to act like that, he was in a ton of pain. So we'll see what happens with Micah Hyde, guys. I'm just telling you, I don't know if he'll be back because he has to eventually.
Well, you've been saying the same thing about Mitch Morris every year for the last 4 years.
Yeah, but Mitch Morris's concussions but this is more like, you could get paralyzed. You know what I mean? You break your neck. I'm just saying, I'm not saying concussions aren't bad, but I brought up Mitch Morris because still he has a lot of concussions as well. Let's neck injuries are no joke.
So let's do this. Let's just win it out and he can ride out on the sunset.
That would be phenomenal, right? And he still does the softball charity things down here.
And then Poyer can ride out in the sunset together.
Right. That would be beautiful. That would be an epic way to do it, right? Win a Super Bowl, retire a Buffalo Bill, both of you guys. And everyone's happy, right? At the end of the day.
Come back in the training camps and bring your leadership and do all the things and be ambassadors for the Bills and still have all your charity stuff and be Bills legends with the Super Bowl ring. That's what I want to see.
Exactly.
Scott says he's still good for leadership, but he needs not to play. Here's the thing: what you're missing when Micah's off the field is his brain. He's the leader in that secondary. His plays down a little bit this year, but he makes up a lot of that for how smart he is in putting guys in position in the secondary. Right. That's what we miss when he's gone.
Yeah.
Like I would be okay with taking the slight step back from Micah, with him being able to still be the quarterback in the secondary.
Yeah,
but that's just me. What the hell do I know?
Yep.
Assistant CB coach. He's smart. I don't know if he would want to be an assistant. I think he'd want to be either coach the room, because I listened to God, I can't think of his name. He's on Mafia all the time, and he's a former offensive lineman. He went and did the coaching thing, and he said it's hard to go from making millions and being a player to being the coach who has to go change the toner.
Right.
Yeah,
I agree.
They need to be position coaches or not do it, because it's a long way away.
Right.
Big difference.
Yeah.
But I could see him being a safeties coach, position coach.
Sure. There's plenty of former players.
I could see him being a special teams coach.
Why not?
He plays all the special teams too.
If that's the route he wants, or he maybe just wants to just ride off and enjoy his money
and his young family, and lay on the beach sipping pina coladas.
Relax. Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
Don't be afraid. Be fearful. Yeah, be fearful of the Bills.
Yeah.
Absolutely. He does a wonderful job even on the sidelines. I love to see him on the sidelines last week cheering his guys on, having conversations in the huddle before they went out. Like, even if he's not there, he's there.
Right. I agree with that too.
Which is huge.
Talking to the young guys.
Yep. And thank God we signed a Taylor Rapp, because he goes in.
Right. And that was a huge signing. Yeah. That was, by the way, that was one of the signings that have worked out. Ooh, there's a few that's worked out. Connor McGovern, except for the last game, he hasn't had a bad season. Just he got worked last game. But I gotta say, a lot of the signings this year, Mikey,
been really good.
Some of them not. No, some of them not so good.
Who hasn't been good?
Because we haven't used them. Poona Ford.
Oh yeah.
Right. No bueno. Right.
Yeah.
Trent Sherfield, Deontay Hardy.
Okay.
So that's 3. Who else? Who else am I missing? David Edwards, I guess he's been fine, because whatever, we need him. McGovern, I would say, has been okay.
Yeah.
Obviously Leonard Floyd's been good. So I guess it was okay. I will say middle of the pack, because there were some that did not work out. Obviously.
Taylor Rapp's been good.
Taylor Rapp's been okay. Yeah. I don't know if he's been great, but he's been okay.
Lindell Joseph's been good.
Yeah. That's not bad. Yeah, I guess you could say that. They're free agent. Now, we don't know about Fournette yet.
No.
we may never know. So I guess I would say in the middle. I guess we did okay.
We missed on Infetti, but Infetti's one of the league minimum guys. So, it is what it is. He hasn't had to play. Spencer Brown's been healthy.
And Klein, we cut him. We cut Klein, by the way.
Don't forget Klein. Yeah, he's gone. Thank you for your service, brother. Thank you for your service.
Hey, he took our money. He didn't give a fuck. He didn't have to do shit.
Right? I hope you're right, Scott. I still have my reservations.
So, quick question. Yeah, go ahead. Read that.
It says, do you realize when we win this Sunday, we're winning it all? Damn, this is effing exciting. Play some music, Tommy. Let's do this.
Absolutely.
I like happy, sunny Scott, not
I know, right?
Scott who's saying blow it up.
Right. It's absolutely.
It's over.
What do you think about Justin Shorter? Interesting, right?
Shorter is very interesting. Here's the thing. Like, I don't know if they're gonna activate him, because I don't know who they would release in order to bring him to the active roster. But he's interesting.
It's weird but the way that McDermott was kind of talking about him was a little almost like he's worked, his way to get here. Like, I get that vibe where it's like, we're going to try him out. I almost get that weird sense.
Who do you think gets
I don't know. That's the weird part. That's the part that I'm, you're right there. Who I don't know. Like that part. I'd have to look at the total roster and see who's really just not doing this thing, right? I don't know. That's a great question to ask. I honestly, I don't have the answer right now for that, but
because it would be have to be in the wide receiver room.
But why even talk about Justin Shorter potentially? You know what I mean? Like, Like, why even bring it up? Because it just doesn't make sense. You could have put it this way: if you didn't even mention Justin Shorter, right, and they just left him on that, nobody would even give a fuck. Nobody would talk about it.
I thought he was already on the IR for the rest of the year.
I know, yeah. So did I.
Hold him that long.
Apparently they can. Yeah. So I just found it really odd timing that he would talk about him and bring him back off the IR. So we'll see.
Triggs, you don't want to trigger me. Bring back Bobby Hart and Vernon Butler. Trent Murphy too. Bring back Trent Murphy. Pay him, $9
We had some bad ones in here. Yeah, we had some bad ones in here that were getting paid.
Yeah, oh god, it was so bad. All right, Tommy, let's talk about the keys to the game this week.
Let's do it.
I think establishing the run on offense is a real key to this game. We need to establish the run. Pass blocking. Give Josh time. You give Josh time, he'll feast on this secondary because they are aggressive. They are so aggressive. And Josh just needs to limit his turnovers, from the offensive side. On the defense side of the ball, it's get to the quarterback, man. That's the key. Get to the quarterback.
Absolutely.
You start hitting Dak, he gets uncomfortable.
Yeah.
And he makes mistakes.
Absolutely.
The problem is no one's been getting to him. So we just need to be able to get to Dak. And then on special teams, make your kicks.
Yeah.
Bass.
Made them
Martin,
last week.
Make your kicks. Coverage teams, make the tackle.
Yeah.
Sam
Martin, by the way, disappointment big time this season. I mean, he had a couple games where he was really, I think he even had AFC special team. Remember that of the week? I think he did for that Tampa game. He was punting beautiful in that game, but he hasn't really done a good job since. He's been really shaky as far as punting. I mean, his average is terrible. And we're going to need, but by the way, guys, in this kind of weather, like for instance, coming up here, when we have to punt, if he's kicking 35-yard punts, 39, that's not good. That's not a good change of field. But yeah, I'm just saying, I'm being honest with you guys. Like, it sucks because I like Sam Martin. I did. I thought it was I liked when they gave him the extension in the offseason, but I don't know if he's showing his age now. I don't know what the hell happened to Sam Martin. But he's just not doing well, and hopefully he gets it together, because if we do make the playoffs and we play a game in Buffalo, it's going to probably be not the greatest weather, and when we need a punt, we need a good chance of field position, and he needs to punt the ball better.
Sophie, I agree. I think Rasul Douglas was excellent, but he wasn't a signing; he was a trade, and that's the reason why he didn't get named. But that was one of the elite Brandon Bean trades.
Absolutely, and in a long time. I mean, honestly, that's since Diggs. That's probably the second. It is. I mean, it is the biggest second trade. Yeah, no doubt.
Here, I love this one. Don't punt. Solved.
Absolutely, I would love it. Remember when we went on? How many games was that when we didn't punt the ball?
Oh God!
Remember that we didn't punt the ball. It was like 2 or 3 games, 3 games, something crazy like that. No punts.
Those days.
Oh my God, I would love it.
Yeah, shorter, stiff route running and health is a massive question mark. Yeah, I don't know if they will let Sherfield go for him.
No, I don't think so.
A special teams guy as well.
Yeah, I don't think so. And he blocks pretty well too. I gotta say, like for a receiver, he's a bigger receiver. He blocks well, but it still will be. I'm very interested to see what
5 games no punt.
5 games. That's crazy. But remember, they put Hardy on. They made him inactive. Just saying. Yeah. And it brought up Andy Isabella.
But Isabella's on the practice squad, and
you're right.
We would have to activate Shorter. That means we have to let somebody go.
You're right. But we let Klein go recently.
Yeah. So we still have to let somebody go. So it'd be interesting.
Yeah.
Unless you put someone on the IR. So if you say you take
that's true.
Put him on the IR, and you can bring off.
You're right. I didn't even think about Hyde.
You can do a swap.
I didn't even think about Hyde, and that might be the case, Mikey. And maybe that is why. Now, man, we're looking at us piecing things together as we. That is maybe why, because remember we just were saying it's odd timing. Why the hell now Shorter all of a sudden? Because more than likely Hyde is going on the IR, which will give open. Look at us! Look, you see what you guys get on Friday Night Lights. We're connecting pieces.
The light bulb finally goes on for us. Like, ding.
We're connecting pieces here.
The Trek comes in and says, "I'm thinking Punt will be back. I've heard members of the Bills have been in contact with him." Yeah, they stayed in contact with him during all his stuff.
Yeah,
they didn't just cut him loose and let him be. players and front office stayed in contact with him to make sure that he was doing okay and talking them through stuff. Araiza seems to be very good with the Bills and how his whole situation played out. I know a lot of people were like, "Oh, he's gonna hate the Bills because they cut him," but it seems like they seem to be in a good spot.
Yeah, I don't. Like I said in the video I did, I don't get that vibe from the interview that Araiza did when he talked about the Buffalo Bills and he brought them up. I didn't get that vibe at all. So if anything, I got the vibe with, hey, they've been in contact with me. They're still good with me.
I can see them using a future signing, and when the season ends, they go out and they sign future deals. I can see him being a future signing, bring him back to all the OTAs and everything, getting him back on the back.
I think it would be
letting them compete for it.
I think it would be by the way, I think that will be a phenomenal story. One that for just the story alone for Buffalo to bring him back would be unbelievable. That thing will be talked about. Buffalo Bills will be talked about. That story will be told. Especially if he wins the job back from the team that drafted him. Like, that's an awesome story, honestly, guys, if that did happen. If it did happen, we'll see.
You don't want me being a co-GM of the Bills. I'm too irrational at times, You don't want me being a co.
We'd be in some massive trouble we'd be way over the cap.
Let me releasing fools after game.
Way over the cap. Right, I would be getting my owner fined left and right for talking to players illegally.
Lombardi, Lindy, and shorter for Davis. Davis ain't going nowhere. Gabe ain't going nowhere.
No, he's not.
His vibe good with the Bills. Yeah, I would like to. I think it'd be also a great story for the fact that the Bills released him.
Right.
Stayed in touch, because you hear all about how the NFL doesn't care about you as a person.
Right.
And to hear him come out and say they've been checking in on me and they've been staying in contact and all that is great. And I think a lot of teams were just waiting for this civil suit to end before
that's what it was.
Bring him back.
Yeah, that's what it was.
And now that the civil suit's done, I think it'd be a fantastic story. He drafted by the Bills, released by the Bills. He went through. It was horrible, and the Bills brought him back.
Right.
Once
gave him another opportunity to and why not? Listen, Sam Martin is an older player. Mm-hmm. What would the harm be there? And I think Araiza would sign at a pretty relatively cheap deal. Let's be real. It wouldn't be a crazy big deal. Like, we're like, oh my God. Why not? Get him in here and see, let's get him back in the offseason, see what he could do. My God, because by the way, guys, real quick, Mikey, I showed a friend of mine at the bar, because I'm like, hey, did you hear about Matt Araiza or whatever? He didn't really know the story. And I'm like, yeah, blah, blah. I told him the whole story. He's like, oh, he's a punter. What's so good about it? I'm like, bro, I'm going to show you some highlights real quick of this kid in college. He's like, holy shit, bro. That guy could flip a game that's all. Like, bro, he was going nuts. That's real.
He did it in preseason.
I know. And I show him, I'm like, bro, this isn't a guy that's just kicking the wind's taking the ball, another 20. Bro, this guy kicked from the 10. It landed on the 10. Like, that's how amazing this guy is. And I think he could get even better. And he was he won the job. So clearly he was holding the ball right for Tyler Bass. So, he was amazed. He said, bro, I've never seen a punter with that kind of leg, like that could kick the ball from the end zone to end zone, pretty much. That's amazing. So yeah, bro,
I would do it, and in our weather, I think it'd be perfect. Roy comes in and says Fournette has three call-ups with 4 games to go, unlimited call-ups for the playoffs. Don't have to add them to 53. I agree. I just wonder if he'll be called up this week, or if they're just gonna wait until the final 3 games to call him up.
Yeah, man, if you're gonna do it, this is the game. I really believe it. I mean, what would the point against the Chargers be? I guess if he fucks up or is no good, then we're still going to win the game. Or you know what I mean? If he doesn't play, you know what I'm saying?
I wonder if they'll wait until the Chargers and in the last 3 games to get him 2 games before that Miami game.
Because I think it would be. I'll be honest with you. I think it would be so late if you bring him in that last game of the season or just the playoffs. Like, he's going to be rusty in the beginning, Mikey. He's not going to just come out on fire. You know what I mean? He's going to need some reps. You got to make a decision soon. You have to. If you're going to do it. If not, then just say you're not going to do it. And that's fine. I'll live with that.
But they're never going to tell us that.
No, I know. I know that.
It's a game day.
Unless Fournette just goes, hey, I retired.
Yeah, he's not going to retire.
like Kirksey. You know.
You know what's cool, though?
Later, guys.
I don't know if you saw the pictures. You saw Fournette's always in the center of the guys talking to him.
I did see that.
Josh and Diggs and everyone. He's always in the center having conversations with them. So whether he suits up and plays or not, the knowledge that he's bringing to these guys is huge.
Yeah, no doubt. You
know, Scott comes in and says, or Trick comes in is talking to Scott and says, yeah, Martin's holding's been questionable. I agree. You know, I think part of the misses are Martin, part of them are Bass. They've both been asked.
Yeah. Bass is having probably his worst season, but I still trust Bass. I still think Bass can turn it around. He's just he's not having his best season. No. It happens, guys. It happens. But let's just hope the season 1 is not over, so he can turn it around. He can make some clutch kicks.
Get locked back in and make the rest from here on out.
Yeah, exactly. Which we will need. There's going to be games where we're going to need to rely on Tyler Bass.
We had to rely on him in the second half last week, and he made both of them.
Absolutely. Yep.
All right, Beth comes in and says, super random question. Your team punts after position, and your punter puts it through that position. No.
No. Unless it's a drop kick.
Yeah, unless it's a drop kick, that's the only way that.
You know who did that, right?
Doug Flutie.
Doug fucking Flutie,
and he does it for the extra points.
Yeah, fucking phenomenal. By the way, though, you know what is cool, and that was another thing I was like wanting to see if that whole thing didn't occur with Araiza. He does kick field goals, so it would have been so interesting just to see, because that's another thing that I really forgot to even talk about. Talk about whatever happened if Bass got hurt. Well, here we go. You got fucking Matt Araiza, who knows how to kick field goals and kicks them well. Like, not many teams have a punter who can kick field goals.
No, we saw position players kicking field goals this year.
Right. So I'm just saying that's another thing that we forget about when it comes to Matt Araiza, what the benefits is of bringing this kid on the team. By the way, too, he tackles he does tackle as well. So
Beth comes in the last part of that and says, if not, why? It's harder than the extra field. I don't know the rule behind it, but there's some kind of rule behind the way you have to, when you line up in a punt formation, of why if you kick it, it's just considered a touchback. I think the ball has to be snapped, touched the ground, and then kicked in order for it to be legit.
It's so odd. Yeah,
it's a weird rule. I don't know all the specifics on it, but that's the reason why.
Speaking of rules, by the way, did you hear the NFL come out and say they fucked up on the kick return? Did you hear that or no, Mikey?
On the kick return?
Yes. So Troy Vincent,
on the fair catch thing? Yes, I did hear that.
The kickoff return. So they said, oops.
Maybe so many people are doing it.
Right. Maybe that's not the greatest idea. Oh, really? We all fucking told you. Right. It was the worst idea ever.
Right. All right, Tommy. That's that time of the show.
Give me show.
Give me your score.
This is
first because we won again last week when you went first.
You're right, and it's tough because it's raining. And you said it's going to be pouring. They
said scattered showers between 3 and 9.
How's the wind, though? What are we talking about wind-wise?
Early in the week, it was 10 to 15 mile an hour.
Ooh, God. And you remember, they gust more in the stadium. They fucking swirl harder in there. Okay. With that being said, because of the weather, that kind of changes things up. I see somebody said 42 to 10.
Oh, yeah.
I don't think.
Let's be realistic, everyone. Bills are only 99 nothing.
I don't think it's tough. Okay, I'm gonna say 27-17 Buffalo.
Okay, and I have a 27-24 Buffalo.
Damn, close. Both really close, but okay.
I have Buffalo winning on a field goal at the end.
Okay, that's not I don't hate that.
4-minute drive going down the field, and Bass putting through about a 40-yarder.
Okay. All right, here we go, guys. You got the score.
Okay.
By the way, go ahead.
Coming in. Bob comes in and says 16 to 30. Okay. Oh, 16 to 30 gusts. 16 to 30 mile an hour gusts.
Ooh, see, that's what I'm saying. That's why I'm trying to keep it.
Early, it was 10 to 15, so now it's between 16 and 30. Okay.
Yeah, that's why I'm kind of keeping it low scoring, man.
34, 24. I love that. I hope we get into the 30s. That'd be amazing.
That would be. Yep.
30 to 24 Bills. That would be awesome too. 35 to 3 Buffalo.
Shut them out. The defense just shuts them the fuck out.
Sunday night, 42 degrees, 91% chance of rain, 9 mile an hour winds. Looks like Beth just looked it up for us.
Oh, okay. Looks like we have our ultimate highest score by Jason by 212 to 3.
Winds 15 to 25, Bills 31-27.
We set
if the wind's sitting about 20 to 30 miles an hour, I don't think we're going to be kicking field goals.
Yeah, you got to factor that in. You're right.
Super windy like that. I can see it something like 25, with a bunch of like 2-point conversions.
Right.
Like
God.
25 to like 18 or some weirdness like that. I can see chip shot field goals, only the ones being tried.
Roy saying Dallas 30-24. Roy he keeps it. He's definitely not a homer.
I don't trust our defense 30-24. And here's the thing: if the Bills give up more than 20 points, we haven't won yet this year. We haven't won. Like every time we won, we've held them under 20.
Yep, that is correct.
So,
by the way, guys, real quick. Right. Yeah, he could be. We'll see.
38-18 Bills. I like that.
I'll be doing the pregame Sunday at 11:30. If you guys want to jump on, I usually go about an hour. So if you guys want to do the pregame or watch the pregame, I'll be doing that Sunday as well, 11:30. Tomorrow, just a heads up, at 2 p.m. You guys are going, right? No problem. Howie and you guys are good to go. All right. So at 2 p.m. Is Fantasy Kingdom, which is fantasy football talk with Mikey and Howie. And it's important because it's the playoffs. And then
during games, don't forget there are games tomorrow. 3 games
I know
tomorrow.
that's what I mean. So it's big deal, guys. Big deal.
So not only will we be talking fantasy, but we'll also be looking at the games while they're on and talking through the games.
That's true. That's pretty cool.
On.
Yeah, I'll be watching, of course. And then 6 o'clock is AFC East Shakedown. That will be on Sports Jedi Network. Their link is in my channel. Just go there, click the link, and you'll see the AFC East Shakedown. It's already scheduled. And that's it, guys. And obviously, we're doing the live post game right after the Bills beat the Cowboys. Buddy.
Yeah, I love how you said that. The Bills beat the Cowboys.
And I said it was just so smooth, right?
Yeah,
like
smooth and confident. Like it's just inevitable.
Just like, hey guys, we'll be here after the Bills beat the Cowboys. So,
Well, we'll be here either way. It will either be a joyous occasion as we're talking about, what's our next step. Or we'll be talking about, okay, we need to have a vent session, fellas, and let's do this.
But what you won't see is me jumping behind my chair and crying and having a spaz attack.
Making my wife calm me down.
Right. Getting some relaxation tea. You won't see any of that. Okay. I promise you guys.
But that's why I don't do live reactions, also videos.
I couldn't do them. I told one, I'm locked in. All right. I can't be fucking sitting here. No offense. I love you guys. But I can't be fucking sitting here.
I did it one time and I can never do it again. I did it with hashtag. I spoiled the play, the ending. It was the Josh Allen slip.
Oh no. Oh,
the Titans. Tennessee. Yeah, against Tennessee. I'm like, no.
Oh no.
No.
Dude, I would be doing so many F-bombs and not paying attention. People would get like, what is this fucking guy? Like, man, I'm good.
I filled in for Paul with Mario, and I'm like, yep, I never did another one after that. I'm like, yep.
I think I did it for a quick second with them one time too, and I'm like, ugh, I did not like it. No, I did the halftime with him. I jumped on, which was all right, but even that, like, it's for me, it's pointless.
You like 5 minutes game, post game.
Yeah. What am I going to give you? 5 minutes of me just bitching and complaining?
Right?
Yeah. So,
all right, Tommy, let's get out of here.
All right, guys. Hey, Bill's Mafia, once again, if you guys want any merch, you guys know where to go. The link is in the description. Go ahead and grab your shirt or hoodie. And Bill's Mafia, of course, we love you as always. Go Bills. We're out of here.
Go Bills.
Peace.